folks, how you doing? RussellTrueResults303.com. Check out the website. Link in the description box. Don't forget to leave some comments. Give me your points of view. Maybe you have some interesting and valuable information to add to the conversation. Do it down below. Mind, body, spirit, fitness, putting the healing back in health. Coming at you today with a video on giving back to God, right? So this is for the spiritual people, right? But in general, this could just be giving back to the world. Because isn't that what life is about? It's about leaving the world a better place than it was when you leave, right? Isn't that a good goal in life? I think that's a good goal for your life. Leaving the world better than it was when you got here. So the first thing I'm going to start with, and they always say, is you can never outdo God. That's what they kind of say in in the Gospels and things like that. Jesus says you will receive tenfold, 50-fold, 60-fold, 100-fold, whatever the case may be, because you can never outdo God. So for the churchgoers, they'll always say, just tithe. The priest I listen to, Father Larry Richards, check him out. He's a very inspirational guy. He'll always say, tithe 10% for 6 months and see if your life is worse or better because of it, right? But in my opinion, sometimes giving money is kind of a cop-out. And there are other ways to better and give better the church, better the people around you, and give back to God than just money. Because of course, back in the day, they tithe crops, cattle, things like that, because money wasn't really, I guess it was there, but God asked for sacrifice. He doesn't ask for sacrifice now of animals. But anyways, I'm getting off topic there. So what does the church say? Or what can you go off of just as a person? The 3 T's: time, treasure, and talent. And these are the ways that we can give back to the community if you're not a spiritual person, or give back to God, your time, your treasure, and your talent. So of course, one being treasure, that is money, right? Like I said, in my opinion, that's kind of a cop-out, and I should have done that one last, but okay, so time, treasure, and then time. What are you doing for time? Volunteering, helping those around you. That could be something as simple if you're a family person as doing homework with your child, right? Or, a lot of people, I see it a lot, I know it happened to me. Your child's doing homework and your parents are watching TV, and then the child can't even concentrate because they just want to watch TV, or maybe they can hear it because they're in the same room. How about you just turn off the TV and start reading a book, right? So you're gaining knowledge yourself. You're helping yourself by helping your child. Um, so something along those lines is how you can use that time more valuably around your children. Like I said, maybe doing a pen pal with someone that's in prison. Jesus did say, if you didn't help those incarcerated, the poor, the widow, the children, if you let them down, you let me down. So it's that same concept of maybe doing something as simple as that, maybe becoming a big brother. Those are things that are empowering the community, helping those that are struggling. And that's a positive way of using your time. Reading the Bible, using your time wisely, the Word of God, right? Or reading about the saints, reading about something. Like I said, for me, I like to watch YouTube videos on Catholicism, Christianity, spirituality, self-improvement. And once again, that's another way of tithing, of giving back to God, using your time wisely, because that's what He gives us here on this earth. He gives us time to understand what we need to understand. Next is going to be the talent. What are you good at? What seriously are you good at? I have a buddy who's really great at drawing, but it's not something that he does much of. And I've been trying to get him to draw some things for me. But he's got other things going on. But it's finding those things. It's those simple things, the things that you're good at, that can bring great value to your life. Or maybe experimenting with something and trying to create a new talent. Maybe you're good with children, so becoming a coach, coaching children, coaching your own child. That's the biggest thing we need to understand, that everybody wants to give their child a better life than they had. And I think we can all agree that the greatest gift you can give your child is yourself. It's not a present. It's not taking them on vacation. It's actually being there with them, right? and being a part of their lives and getting to understand them. And once you're able to do that, that's going to give them more confidence and success that they could ever have in their lives. Because I know that's what I needed growing up. But unfortunately, we let the worries and troubles of the world take over us, and we lose sight of what's important. So once again, I think it's coming back to the treasure thing. I'm just gonna kind of interweave in between all these. The treasure thing, and in my opinion, I might have stated this in another video. I think this is why the non-dominational Christian churches are so popular. We have one here. It's called Flatirons. Great church. I think they have like 5,000 people. They've got 4 campuses. The people. Some of the people that I've seen, they go to their huge parties that they throw and things like that. And that's what makes it. That's what makes it so desirable, right? You don't have to do anything. You just give the priest, the pastor, whatever they call him, some money, and it's his job to throw the party. You just show up. And Catholic Church is totally different. They're like, no, we need you to step up and take control and do something, right? They're throwing at you discipline. They want to discipline you. They want you to take the initiative, which is what life is all about, right? A lot of people will say, oh, I deserve a raise. I want the raise. Or at work, they'll say, well, that's above my pay grade. Until they give me a raise, I'm not going to do it. Well, don't you think you need to show and prove that you're able to perform the task before they should give you it? Because I think, isn't that what a promotion is, where they give you more responsibility, but they don't give you a raise? I could be wrong. I'm not a part of the business world. But, you get a promotion. It's you get more duty, but you don't get pay. Once you realize that you can, or once you prove to us that you can actually perform the duties, then the raise comes. But once again, I could be wrong. I'm not a part of that world. So, so I broke it down. Tithing, Old Testament says 10%. So what we can do, 10%, we'll do 24 hours. I subtracted 8 from it because hopefully you're sleeping for 8. It could be 7, but that gives us 16. Times it by 60, that's going to give us 960 minutes. Divide or multiply that by 0.1, that gives you 96 minutes a day. 96 minutes a day to figure this out. Like I said, whether it's reading a Bible, whether it's drawing a picture for somebody, writing a book because you're good at speaking, or you're just really book smart compared to people. They say book smart versus street smart. Engaging with your child, doing something with 96 minutes, an hour and a half of your free time, whatever that case may be, lunch, break, after work, taking an hour and a half of your day to do something with your time, your treasure, or your talent that is going to bring glory to this world, that's going to make this world a better place, or build up the kingdom of God. And what are you doing every day for that hour and a half? Just trying to find that hour and a half. We tithe daily. That's the goal. That's like the thing. What is it? It's something about praying at all times. I wish I would have looked up in the Bible, but it's when the demon came. The how do you word it? The possessed person came to the disciples, and the disciples couldn't extract the demon from the person. So they brought him to Jesus, and Jesus, boom, did it, gone. And he said, this takes much prayer. This takes much prayer and much fasting. I think it was his exact words, but I could be wrong. I wish I would have looked it up. I wasn't thinking about talking about this part. It just popped in my head. And that's what we need to learn how to do. We need to learn to pray constantly, pray at all times. And it's hard to do when you're watching TV or you're listening to the radio at work, or on the way to work, on the way from work, while you're exercising, wherever you're using the radio for. You got to find times during the day to pray at all times. For me, if I try to catch, like if I cuss, I'll try to say an Our Father. If I catch myself thinking something negative, try to say an Our Father, or tell God, thank you for something. I know, that's not what it's about, but it's trying to find times during the day and get to that point where you're praying at all times. That's what it's about, praying at all times, being positive, giving thanks to Him. And I think that's kind of what Jesus was getting at. This one takes much prayer and much fasting and finding, that true sense of pureness and that oneness with God. And then great things can happen. Like he says, if you have enough faith, you can take this, if you have I think he even said, if you have a small enough faith or little enough faith, you can tell this mountain to go into the water or whatever and pick it up and throw it, right? But are you taking the time to actually learn these things, to pray? I think it's funny how we can recite, until 5 years ago, I could recite almost every Eminem song in the world. But as you can see right now, even trying to recite a biblical verse, I'm still like, it's somewhere over here and there, and stumbling over words. But you give me an Eminem song, I'll rap every single word to it. It's just that it's a horrible use of time and talent and treasure all at once, right? A horrible, horrible time because I spent that much time listening to that type of music. You know, talent because we all have the talent to remember things, memorize things, and teach people things. And unfortunately, I use that valuable time, treasure, and talent in doing that. Not using all those things wisely. And if I would have used all those things wisely, I could have done something a lot greater, been something a lot greater. Not that there's never enough time to do something great in your life. I think they say a lot of like Beethoven and Mozart, they all wrote their greatest symphonies and things like that in their 50s, 60s. So it's never too late to join this journey. But anyways, so yeah, it's just about trying to tithe and give back to God every day. We did the math, 96 minutes, 1 hour, 36 minutes. So figure out a way to start like that, tithe every day in that way with your time, your treasure, your talent. Either way, one or the other, trying to figure it out and give back to God, give back to the community, to the universe, to whatever you want to call it. Once again, these videos are not just for people that believe in Jesus, that believe in God. But, I think the ultimate goal should be leaving this earth in better shape than it was when you got here. You can call that tithing if you want to call it tithing. All right? So I hope that gave you a little food for thought. Once again, I hope this helps. Subscribe to the channel, share, like these videos with those around you.